Ethan Winters. There you are.
Who the fuck are you?
Let's see what you're really made of, Ethan Winters.
Hello there, everyone. Hope you all having a beautiful day. We are talking about Resident Evil 8 Village, or Resident Evil Village, however you want to say that. This Resident Evil is far different from any Resident Evil I think I've ever played, even 7. It's hard to describe exactly how what it really is. It's kind of like has a very big fairy tale aesthetic. It really plays up like classic monsters and stuff like that. Like the main enemies are lycans. They're werewolves or lycans. It's a pretty interesting little modge-podge of, all the different Resident Evils, as well as kind of its own fairy tale twist, if that makes sense. There are some weak parts, there are some strong parts. First, let's kind of get the weak stuff out of the way. At times it can be a little messy, story-wise. It can be kind of like, okay, I guess. Some characters aren't as strong as others. Some are a little one-dimensional and flat. Ethan's great. Mia is great. Chris is really good. Some of the lords, though, are a little, which are the main people you fight. So this game isn't particularly very scary. It's not as scary as 7, definitely. There are sections that will get the heart racing and are scary, but for the most part, it's not entirely a horror game. It's mainly, I would say, a thriller with horror elements in it, kind of like Resident Evil 4. I mean, this is basically, I would feel like this is RE4's spiritual sequel, even though, there's RE5 and all that good stuff, but this feels like RE4's like a spiritual sequel to RE4, because you are in a village, you're surviving throughout there. So I definitely think the best parts of this game are Lady Dimitrescu's section, the main vampire lady that everyone always talked about. Her castle section is really good. It's not very long. It's maybe about 2 to 3 hours of exploring the castle, but I really enjoyed that section. And then there's I'll just call it Dollhouse. It's that section is really good. That's basically kind of like, no spoilers or anything, but a little bit of psychological horror in there, which is kind of new for Resident Evil. I could be wrong. I've only played the main titles in the series. If there was any others, let me know. But it was very interesting. And the Duke is really good. Is a really funny part of the game. He's in it, and anytime he pops up, you definitely laugh. He's just a big old plump guy just giving you advice. And also he does have some references to other games that I think RE fans will enjoy. I definitely think this is RE's greatest hits. It feels like its own thing, but it doesn't. So, we got like the first person of RE7, but I feel like this is like going through each lord is kind of like a different section of RE that's been in the past, if that makes sense. There's survival horror, there's thrilling action, and it's very much, it's kind of a greatest hits of RE, which is not a bad thing at all. It's a beautiful game. I mean, I played it on PS4 Pro, haven't played it on 5, but it's really pretty on PS4 Pro. But yeah, I think RE fans will definitely enjoy this. I enjoyed it. But yeah, you should know what you're getting into. It's basically RE's greatest hits, thrilling. I don't want to say it's a thriller because there are definitely scary parts in the game. So we'll get into a little bit of spoilers right now for anyone who doesn't want to get the fuck out. Yeah, anyone that want just get the fuck out of here right now. Like, why the fuck are you still here? Anyways, so the game is divided basically into 4 sections with the village in between. You go through 4 lords, which are like the main bad guys. Part of the main bad. It's not the main bad guy. Technically 5 main bad guys, but they're serve under one person. And you start off in Lady Dimitrescu's castle, and I don't think it's Dimitrescu, it's Dimitrescu is the way she pronounces it. And it kind of reminded me of RE2 in the sense of the fact that you're being hunted down by Lady D at a point, and it reminded me of Mr. X, but she does emote and she's more of a character than Mr. X, but she's not really chasing you down all that much through the castle, and there's only certain sections she'll go to. I wish she would have went all throughout the castle. I think that would have been a far better move if they had done that. But her section was definitely a highlight of the game. It reminds you of the old mansion, the police station, and obviously with the follow around character. And yeah, that the vampire twist, even though it is technically just bioweapons, was not bad. And then you go to the next one is Dollhouse, that was definitely, I know some people say it's scary, some people say it's not, but I thought it was pretty, so I kind of got it a little spoiled for me, like scrolling through YouTube. So I didn't really have the full effect of what happens in Dollhouse. Yeah, it was definitely something. It was kind of disgusting and very psychological horror, and I really appreciated that. And then you go to like this, it's a water, or not a water tower, but a windmill, and you fight a giant fish. And that section was kind of it was fine. It was just a Resident Evil boss. I feel like it wasn't like the greatest section. It wasn't my favorite section. And then you go to a factory, which reminds me of, I believe that the Lord that the last one is inspired by is Frankenstein's monster, and that was really cool. I think the first, second, so if I was to rate them, it would go second, first, fourth, third. That would kind of be the way, like, my favorite parts of the games, favorite lords parts or whatever. However, I'm dyslexic, I can't fucking talk. But yeah, that would be my order of like my favorite parts of the game. But yeah, it's kind of like inspired by Frankenstein's monster, and that was really cool. And yeah, it was. I definitely would give this game I would highly recommend this game to anybody who likes the horror genre. I mean, it's not the scariest game by any means, but you'll definitely have a fun time with it, and it's super pretty. And I think that you should give it a playthrough. Honestly, it's a really good game. It's definitely different, but it's definitely well worth it. And yeah, I hope y'all have a beautiful day, and stay safe out there. Later.